which was the main issue today in the day session. So both of the players won't have too much trouble in Rod Laver tonight.
So ready to go here with Pegula serving.
Love 15.
And Mark Knowles mentioned Pegula's coach, how dangerous Danilovic can be. She hits such a clean ball off the ground as well. And she's someone that when she's playing with a lot of confidence, that's where she can be dangerous. She stays up on the baseline, can really attack the ball.
Results coming in here with the win over Arantxa Rus 6-4, 6-4, but against Samsonova in the second round 6-1, 6-2 against a seeded player. So that's a very strong result, and that would capture your attention if you're Pegula and her team.
That was a very convincing win, and what Danilovic did well throughout that match was, you know, she can throw in the variety, she can throw in the slice, but I love the heavy forehand off the lefty wing that she can bring. It sets up a lot of opportunities for her to attack on the next ball, so you're going to see her using that a lot in this match. That's great pace off the ground and depth from Pegula. That's one of her biggest strengths, is that backhand wing. She can really hit her spots, both cross and down the line. That's why there's a part of me that feels like she'll like this matchup with that lefty cross court going into the backhand. I don't think that's going to hurt Pegula that much.
So despite the double fault to start, Pegula holds serve. Of the 32 seeds that started, we began today 20 still in, 9 of the top 10. Most of the favourites winning today. So I think we've still got 9 of the top 10 seeds alive. For an exciting second week if they all continue.
Olga Danilovic to serve.
Oh, it's excellent play from Pegula, and such a good tool to have, the use of that drop shot, especially for someone that likes to hit with such pace and depth. It just can catch your opponent by surprise, bring them forward, and really nice feel on the lob there from Jess.
Low 30.
I do love to see Danilovic's forehand from courtside, though. She gets such a lovely height over the net. In some ways, just struggles to go for the flatter one down the line, though, because her natural shot is so spinny.
Yeah, as mentioned, not a bad play to try and get that ball high over the shoulders of Pegula, Laura.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the forehand, but I think it's got to be 3-4 times cross court and then try and really go flat, well, as flat as she possibly can with the grip that she has. But us lefties got to stick together. And the problem with Danilovic's serve at times is it can get predictable because she is so left-handed that that slider wide on the ad side moves a lot, but when she tries to go for the tee, it's still got the slice on it, so it's still moving into the body.
That's a nice look at the service motion of Danilovic. Gets a pretty good hip rotation there. Could probably bend a little bit more. Her left arm's pretty straight until the last moment, but she does get that good extension up and lands inside the court. That's a good change up for a lefty, that flat down the tee. Because for Pegula, her court position on the return, you do want to protect that out wide serve. That is so effective for left-handers. So you do kind of inch a little bit more towards the doubles alley.
Advantage, Pegula.
Lights on the side, big
cool.
couch at the back.
Well, initially I thought that was a little bit too much depth on that slice, but it had just a nice side spin on it. Pegula just unable to adjust or judge that one correctly.
Good work from Danilovic. Saved the 2 break points. On with the ace. Old serve in her opening service game.
And it's interesting, the conditions at night. I've spoken to a few players that have mentioned that the ball tends to get a little bit slower, and it is a little bit cooler out there. So it just make it more difficult to put the ball away. Laura, are you finding that?
Laura looks like she's...
I know, you look very cold. You added that extra blanket, I think.
I feel like I'm in a tundra down here.
You look like you need an igloo.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, definitely more obvious than previous nights that it does look like it's a little slower. Jess Pegula usually has such a clean strike that you can hear from the side of the court, and it's really crisp, and I'm just not getting that off the racket.
That's just one of those situations you have to be a little bit more patient, being willing to rally and getting into these longer rallies a bit more before you find the right ball to actually, you know, inject a little bit more pace, be more aggressive.
Well, she deserved that point. Danilovic, heavy hitting. Then had to scamper back.
15.
I think that's the perfect example of just the conditions being a bit slower, though, the fact that she had to win this point 3 times.
I like the placement of that backhand from Pegula, just a little shorter in the court. Anything deeper, Danilovic probably would have been able to put her racket on that ball. It's a conscious choice from Pegula to go a little shorter. That's an area that Jess has definitely worked on, is the placement of the serve. She doesn't necessarily have the biggest serve. Still has some decent power, but not the most powerful on the tour. But the placement and the accuracy has gotten a lot better.
Pegula holds serve. On serve.
Pegula leads
First
by
set,
2
2-1.
games to 1.
It's interesting, a few times Danilovic has gone to that drop shot when she didn't necessarily need to. I don't know if she wants to try and mix it up or get out of that rally, maybe got a little back behind her foot, but hasn't executed it super well. It's been pretty deep in the court. I think that's tactically maybe part of her game plan, try and bring Jess forward if possible, or just to mix it up a little bit more.
As we know on this surface, if you're going to hit that drop shot, it has to be lower, a little more skid. Pegula taking the opportunity to take the towel over to the corner where Coach Mark Knowles is sitting. Brief conversation.
I remember watching Danilovic actually a couple of years ago playing qualifying here, and just not as consistent as she has been recently, and that has a lot to do with just playing a lot more matches. Had a good 2024, one of the best of her career. And it was fun to watch because actually her idol, Novak Djokovic, was sitting in the stands watching her play. She grew up watching him on television, inspired her to pick up a racket, started playing tennis, and it's pretty cool to see him in the stands during the qualifying week out there supporting his fellow Serb.
We should be chuffed tonight to follow him on to
I know.
Rod Laver Arena.
I'd be bricking it, playing in front of my idol. But just thinking back to that run at Roland Garros as well for Danilovic, she had to come through qualies then, and that wasn't too long ago. It's just been such a great stretch that she's had for the last 6-7 months.
I need to know who that was now, Laura, just so we know.
Steffi.
Okay.
Yeah, that run to Roland Garros you brought up, she actually, en route to that round of 16 run, actually beat Danielle Collins, who was top 10 in the world at the time, one of her first top 10 wins of her career. But she had just played her the week before in Madrid and had lost her a tight match, 7-6 in the third. So felt like was ready to face her on the big stage at Roland Garros. And also said that was one of the times that she actually really started believing in herself. Like deep down knew that she could play at the top level, beat the big players. And from that point on, that's where she started to gain a lot more confidence in herself.
Oh, I remember the round of 32 against Donna Vekic as well.
Yeah.
7-6 in the third, 10-8 in the breaker. And in the player restaurant, the entire restaurant was crowded around TVs. It was so tense.
Good service game from Danilovic.
2 games all.
Different kind of ball that Pegula is dealing with today as well. I mean, she played Maya Joint in the first round, who hits a much flatter ball through the air. Mertens as well, especially on the backhand. Mertens can slow it up occasionally on the forehand, but still doesn't have the heavy spin that Danilovic can use to her advantage in this matchup. I'm just frustrated because she guessed the right way. Felt like she had the open court. It's just enough pace on the backhand from Pegula to cause Danilovic to get late.
Steve Hooker there on the right-hand side. Olympic pole vault champion from Australia, Jill.
Looks like he's having fun.
Won that in Beijing.
40 love.
Good friend, and known him since he was a small boy, and called him to victory, which was a big thrill.
That's cool.
Mum was an Olympic long jumper. His dad competed in the 800 metres for Australia at the Commonwealth Games.
Game Pegula.
So Pegula holds.
Pegula leads by 3 games to 2.
Steve and I then had the great thrill of calling our Australian pole vaulter Nina Kennedy to win the gold medal in Paris. So he was an incredible expert commentator. He's up there with Jill Krabus and Laura Robson in terms of his capacity to tell us what's going on, take us deep inside the sport. Nina won in Paris and our first female field event gold medal at the Olympic Games. Big thrill.
I do love when athletes come out and watch other athletes perform and compete. I always love to want to get their insight into what they're thinking out there.
I think he thinks he's sitting in Rod Laver's seat down there. He's in seat 1A, so he's got a good position.
Time.
Conversation going on between Pegula and Alison Rask in the chair, but I think it's just we need another water bottle. We need to collect those for family and friends, and the best way of doing that is ask for them to come out on the court. I don't like the white towels. I need an AO towel, but I really need an AO water bottle.
We used to do it with the towels all the time. Now it's the water bottles. Yeah.
We know we're in trouble if Laura walks across and asks for a hot chocolate, then we know it's cold.
She looks you look very cold, Laura.
It's actually not that cold according to my app. It's saying 18 degrees, but...
it feels colder. I have just had a tea. Lemongrass and ginger.
Ooh, that one's good, yeah. Oh, that's a great serve.
15.
Went for a little shorter into the box because Pegula a couple feet inside the baseline, looking to attack. Smart choice from Danilovic.
There's that spinny forehand
30-50.
you were talking about, Laura. That had a lot of loop.
It's such a gorgeous shot, and she can really disguise it. This one here, as she lines up for it, can easily go back cross court. And as Jill was saying, I like the shorter serve in the box on the ad side, because for Pegula, it's very hard to place your return in the right position. Either you've got to go low percentage, go line, or back cross court to Danilovic's forehand.
And it's such a good serve to have because it really does
40-50.
set up the point so well for Danilovic. I mean, right away, that lefty serve out wide opens up the court, and it just puts Danilovic already on her front foot, able to keep Pegula on the move.
Cain, Danilovic.
So we stay on serve here in the opening set.
3 games all.
Just it gives you an indication of the heaviness of the forehand of Danilovic. Pretty high overall on the tour. That's one of her favorite shots, that forehand down the
50.
line. That one a little bit lower over the net, and that's what she's capable of because she has such a good racket head acceleration, good wrist snap. She's able to lift that one higher or snap through it and hit it a little flatter. I really like that Pegula didn't hesitate on that. As soon as she saw that it didn't have as much heaviness to it, and it was just going to float in the center of the court, did a great job of getting up fast on this ball to catch it more in the strike zone. Really clean strike on that from Pegula.
40-15. Game, Pegula.
So
New
Pegula
balls, please.
holds serve.
Pegula leads by
Still on serve in this first set. 4-3 to the American. Both players on serve have been comfortable, but also a little uncomfortable. Does that make sense? It hasn't been one-way traffic completely,
sense, yeah.
other than the first service game of Danilovic, where she had the 2 break points, which she survived. But they're being pressed by their opponent, but haven't got the official figures yet for the day session, night session combined, but every other day's been a record so far. Huge crowd outside.
Love.
I had some heat on it. I was being a bit judgy about the +1 shot, that she could have actually gone flatter and harder with it, and then she did that on the next ball, so it kind of didn't matter.
She's picking the ball up off the baseline very quickly, and Pegula, I feel like, is still recovering at times, and Danilovic doing a good job of when she's able to back foot Pegula. She's getting some mistakes.
That was an easy service game to screw it up at 4 apiece. As I talk about the crowd, I've refreshed my emails to discover that today's crowd is a record. 97,132. It's an extraordinary number, single day. A couple of thousand more than the previous record, which was set on a Thursday in 2025. We'll have more tomorrow too, you would think, on the weekend, but close to 100,000 people through the gates today.
Love.
Danilovic thought that serve was out. Actually stopped moving off the split step to try and get in position, but stopped playing that ball.
Cain, Pegula.
It's another easy service hold, and just as I said, it was
Pegula
easy,
leads
not
by
easy.
5
Both
games
players have
to
won their
4.
last 8 points in a row on serve. So Pegula leading 5-4.
I was really doing my best to eavesdrop there down the end of Mark Knowles. And he was talking about going a bit more to her backhand side, so I think Jess needs to almost play some uncomfortable tennis at times and get her backhand line slightly more. Otherwise, it's leaving that wide open space for Danilovic to go for the forehand line.
That's one of Jess's best shots too, is that backhand down line. Can use that shot, really can change direction down the line very effectively. So be a good play for Pegula to incorporate.
We remain on serve here, but pressure elevating fraction for Olga Danilovic, serving to stay in the set.
Love.
Handled that well. It was a little tricky. High.
30 love.
Well, she just did so well with the feed. She almost overran it at first and had to backpedal in the end, but did a great job of really getting quickly into position for that swing volley.
Another good service hold for Danilovic. 5
games
all.
all.
It really feels like Pegula's not enjoying that slower, spinnier serve, though. It almost feels like she times it better when it's the faster slice, just having to cut the angle off a bit more when the speed is a couple of Ks slower.
Love 15.
Like that return straight down in the center of the court, just rushing Pegula on the baseline.
16 all. Danilovic.
She almost got too excited on that one. Saw the opening
30,
down the line, but stayed low enough. That's a difficult shot to lift up on over the higher part of the net down the line and to really get enough pace on it. That's the one Jess struggles on a little bit, that pressure forehand down the line where the ball really penetrates and gets her on the run on that forehand side. That's where Pegula can get late. And Danilovic definitely trying to target that area when she can.
First break point opportunity for Danilovic. I think on that one, I like the intention of being aggressive on that second serve from Danilovic, but doesn't have to be so flat on that return. Just get a little extra rotation for a better margin.
Advantage, Pegula. Thank you.
I've got a little spot of bother there. Jessica Pegula had the break point. Hold serve to lead 6-5 in this opening set.
There's a guy behind me who is Bill's Mafia for sure, because every time Pegula hits a good shot.
Super Bowl. She's been good under pressure so far, Olga Danilovic. Pegula serving first here. She's had the advantage of the scoreboard pressure. Laura now dancing to Aha. Court side, that'll keep her warm. Serving once again to stay in it.
Love
Well, the
15.
advice was good from Pegula's coach because to go more to the backhand side of Danilovic because she's definitely making a few more unforced errors off that wing.
I believe we've got some bird poo on the court.
I think we need a towel.
Wet wipe.
I did hear a very funny story. We're at the United Cup in Perth from Barbara Shett about a seagull that may have had some issues with Mark Philippoussis, and she used a word that caused great controversy in Europe. I'm not going to say what it was, but you put that very nicely, Laura, so well done. Alert, there's bird poo on the court. It's been cleaned up. We can continue on. There's the recalcitrant. Only a little bird. Not sure if that's the exact one.
I love that Danilovic doesn't really hesitate to come forward.
15 on.
And because she's looking to take that step diagonally into the court whenever there's a shorter ball, she's that much closer to being able to transition to the net. And it's a great sign that she's not hesitating, likes to feel comfortable coming forward when she can.
Let's. That's it.
Serving.
30-15.
Such a good return on the full stretch to find the strength to be able to create depth and pace on that. A great control from Pegula. Pegula completely surprised she missed that, was going for the shorter angle. I would have loved to seen her go for still that depth. That's the one that's been a struggle for Danilovic.
So to the tie-break we go to decide the opening set here.
6 games all tiebreak. Not a.
That was clever.
Yeah, just not being able, just making sure she doesn't panic in that
1-0.
situation. That ball stayed low. Pegula stayed nice and calm.
It's the same forehand again, Jill, isn't it? Just trapped up in the body and tries to still go for the line. I think she's in a better position to go back cross court there and almost follow through with the shot slightly longer.
Yeah, I totally agree. And she's gotten better at that, actually, accelerating through those faster balls that come into the forehand. But right now, getting a little late.
2-1, Danilovic.
I just got so tempted, that ball just sitting up there. You could see just tried to do a little extra on that ball. She hits a hard enough ball, doesn't need to put any extra on her normal average rally ball.
Out. 3-2, Pegula.
That's a great shot on the run, recognizing Pegula coming forward. Good placement right at the feet of Pegula. It's the first time really Pegula in a while has changed it up to go down the line to the forehand side of Danilovic. It's her strength. And hit a perfect shot. This is normally a very difficult shot, this low ball to accelerate through and to get down low, but I love the fact that she kept her momentum going forward through this ball, kept following it into the net.
Big point, first point against the serve.
5-3, Danilovic.
Coming into the net here, held her ground really well, and then the last moment made the move to cover the cross court.
Big points from Danilovic. Takes both of the Pegula serves to rack up 3 set points.
6-3.
And both of them will come on her serve. Huge moment. some brilliant play, three
And
tremendous
Jessica
points
Pegula
to round out
by 7
the opening
games
set
to
to
6.
Olga Danilovic in the tiebreaker, 7-3. Takes the opening set to open the second set.
Love. Love. 30-15.
Still like that hit from Danilovic because she's the one that's inside the court. That's where she likes to be. That's where she's been able to dictate.
Cain, Danilovic. First game, second
Strong
set.
start, a little frustration too for Pegula.
Well, Danilovic, I feel like, has just really handled herself as far as her demeanor, her emotions. She looks so confident out there. She's had some big wins last year in her career and has really taken some confidence from those wins, and you can see it the way she's just been going after her shots, trusting her shots throughout this match so far.
And it seems like
15
Danilovic has accepted that she is going to make a few more unforced errors as well, given how aggressive she's trying to play, and can afford to make them because the pressure that she's putting on Pegula is so evident from the side. Pegula's not quite sure where to play her shots right now.
13 love.
And I do think the fact that this is a night match, that the balls are just playing slightly more dead, that is Jess Pegula's #1 pet peeve.
Love.
Holds to love. Square things up early in this second set.
A little more aggression on that game from Pegula, just upped the pace off the ground from the very first strike on the ball. Good adjustment. No, she has to put a little extra behind her ball off the ground.
I think that's the play. Fast through the middle, but to the backhand side, because Danilovic deals with that well off her forehand, can play it almost off the back foot, but her backhand, she kind of traps herself up. And if you're thinking of a simple move to make, it's heavy return through the middle at the feet and then open up the space into the backhand corner.
Love 30.
That was an important point for Danilovic. She started to me like she looked like she was walking faster, rushing a little bit, but she took the time in between the points very well. Very excellent point. Great pickup. That is not easy to redirect that deep ball, but she's got such good hands on the forehand side. Beautiful shot down the line to set up the overhead.
That is the shot that she's rushed on, though, Danilovic, when she's pushed wide on the backhand. So often we've seen her drop to that backhand slice, and it's not the best slice in the world. It's quite often still quite high over the net, and when she does try to play the topspin ball, that's when it's late. So I would just keep going and going and going and going.
Juice.
You can already tell when she was moving up to that ball that she looked a little uncomfortable, just a slight hesitation in the footwork.
Advantage, Pegula.
Went for a big serve there. I don't think she had to necessarily go for such a big, flat, out wide serve. Her kick is so effective. That's too good. Very good. Like the deep ball beforehand, and then again, once up on the court, that backhand, putting it off the court flat out wide.
Racking up the winners, 3 break points saved.
Advantage, Pegula.
Just wanting some energy from her coaching box, Danilovic. Again, under pressure, just handling herself so well.
Juice. Advantage, Danilovic.
Well, it may be an important moment in the match, saving 4 break points. Hold serve to lead 2-1.
Leads by 2 games to 1.
So with the advantage of serving first, you look up at the score and see that you're in front. It'll be a little boost for Olga Danilovic here, having taken the first set in tiebreak.
Love 15.
Double
Love
fault now.
30.
Very lazy one into the net.
Fifteen 30.
In the words of Pegula, she just said, "My movement's so bad." So it certainly feels like she can be a bit more intense here.
and been some big winners. Saw that winner count before, up to 23 now to 9 for Pegula.
Those are actually good strikes on the ball from Pegula here as well. I mean, deep into the corner and deep down the center of the court, and just really good redirect from Danilovic.
We'll break points and a look at a second serve.
It
was short too, wasn't it? It was there to be hit.
It's the first time really that she was actually a little bit further behind the baseline than normal. She's up a couple feet closer. Just waited on the ball.
Another big moment. Huge to save the 4 break points in the previous service game, and then the net cord rushes forward and willed it to go long, and it did. 3-1.
Great hustle for that let court from Danilovic. I was actually a little surprised Pegula missed it. She did a good job of coming forward, trying to make the court look a little bit shorter, just got caught on her back foot.
Not happening for Pegula at the moment.
Pegula mentioning her movement, that's an area in her game that actually improved significantly in the summer leading up to her run to the finals of the US Open, especially out of the corners, getting back quickly. But the pace from Danilovic right now has just been on fire. It's just been so good. It's really rushed Pegula. So I feel like there's been a few times she has looked off balance.
Danilovic is so quick between the points here as well. She's already on the baseline a few times now, waiting for Pegula to get ready, and she wants to keep this momentum rolling.
Yeah, you don't want Pegula to get settled and have a little time to keep that frustration down.
A big service game after holding on for grim life in the previous service game. 4-1 now. Huge 3 games.
It was incredible watching that last service game too, because I do feel like she got Pegula in a state of mind where it just got a little bit flustered. Actually, her reactions on the return got slower, and that's just a sign of Pegula getting flustered, that she can't read the serve as well as she would like, can't get some of these returns back in play.
Time.
And Jessica Pegula came in tonight looking for a 50th Grand Slam match win. At the moment, she's staring down an early departure. Still just the one break of serve, but we've seen double faults, errors creeping in. Alarm bells ringing.
Love 30.
Now the air is just accumulating from Pegula. Completely has lost her rhythm here. And then that return was not a bad serving. That return landing right on the baseline.
Let's the serve. Thank you.
Well, I don't know if she meant that angle, but it was exceptional from Pegula.
15-40.
That was just pure reaction. Didn't even have time to think. Another great return. Was just able to get out of the way of that ball in time.
It goes without saying there's a huge difference between 5-1 and 4-2 here. One more break point to be saved. Extraordinary run of games for Olga Danilovic. Novak Djokovic is happy. He's watching on with great interest.
Leads by 5-1.
It's pretty cool of him to stick around and stay after his win tonight to support his fellow serve.
4 games in a row, serving now for the match. Conquered some top 10 players before, twice in fact, but both of them were ranked number 10. This would be the biggest win in terms of ranking. And would equal her French Open effort to get to the 4th round.
A little while as far as hitting the ball with a lot of pace, going after it. And still just a great get from Danilovic.
Well, a tight opening set. It wasn't until the back end of the tie-break that Danilovic rattled off 4 points in a row to take it. So 4 break points in the third game of this set, and since then has been unstoppable.
Shot. It was an excellent get from Danilovic, and nice steady hands from Pegula.
40-30.
Aggressive play from Pegula when on the precipice.
It's tough, mentally tough from Pegula. A little bit unlucky here with the leg court, just disrupted the rhythm of Danilovic. Ended up dropping a lot lower off the bounce.
Danilovic.
Dominance from Danilovic. It's a career best win.
7-6, 6-1.
Serbians everywhere celebrate. She's off to the 4th round of the Australian Open. Straight sets. A demolition in the second. 7-6, 6-1.
Well, it was an incredible performance. She deserved to win that. She absolutely played.